Welcome to my 13th live stream. For those of you who are either new or watching this on YouTube after the live broadcast, this is the format that I'm going to try to go with. Anybody in the chat here on live stream, I'll be able to see your comments and your questions, and so I will announce your name, and then you read your comment or question, and then respond to it. It usually works out pretty well, and I'll just give my disclaimer right away. If I mispronounce your name or your username, I just somehow just mangle the way it's supposed to be read, I apologize. Bear with me. I'll try to get it right, and if you correct me, I'll try to remember it. But, okay. Hello, I guess we're ready to go. Oh, if there are pauses, sometimes it's just me getting caught up in the comments so I can read through and see what to respond to next. But I'll try to warn you about that so it's not dead air or anything. Or at least I'll try. How's the quality coming in? We're trying the thing that we tried last live stream where I'm broadcasting on multiple streams. So there's a mobile stream and then an HD one. So that seemed to work out pretty well last time. And hello! What is the meaning of life, the answer of life, the universe, and everything? 42, of course. Hello, sunshine, from Alessio Baldi. Hello! From where is everyone broadcasting, by the way, or tuning in? Most of you know I'm from Wisconsin, and the weather is still really nice out, which I'm very pleased, because despite the fact that I've been living in the Midwest for most of my life, and Wisconsin for a good chunk of it, I still hate the cold weather, and anytime it starts getting cool, I become a super pansy and pout a lot. Alright, South Carolina, Fond du Lac, Orlando, Florida. I'd love to visit there. Miami Beach, that'd be fabulous too. Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Excelsior Springs, Missouri, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Janesville, Wisconsin. From France. Well, hello. My room. Brazil, Paris, Kentucky. Oh, hello, Colleen. Nice to see you. Beaver Dam, Mordor. Dang it. How did you get there? I mean, one does not simply walk into Mordor. I guess, don't know whether or not you could drive, though. They didn't really address that in the books. Minneapolis, Illinois, Maine, northern Minnesota, Moline, Illinois, still in Ohio, Rhode Island, Tampa Bay, Florida. Oh, I've been in that area. Absolutely beautiful. I wish I could stay there forever. That is my kind of locale as far as temperature goes. Mechanicsville, Virginia, Louisiana, Appleton, Wisconsin. Wow, we got quite the spread. That's awesome. Kerbingistic, which, by the way, I'm so sorry if that's not how to pronounce your name. You have to skip into Mordor while singing the song that never ends. Oh my gosh, that would have made for quite an annoying movie. The moon. Wow, you have really excellent reception from the moon. That's awesome. Connecticut, you'd hate the snow there. Oh, I've been. I've got some family over on the East Coast general area. I don't mind the snow there so much because although you get a lot of precipitation, it seems to melt pretty quickly. More quickly than it does, at least in Wisconsin, where we'll have the same stupid snow sticking around for like a month or 2 months. It's gross. Destinee from Savage Henry. You know, I think you are one of the very only people who calls me that. It's funny with having this online presence between being on Facebook and on YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that. I end up building like friendships and relationships with people who I've never met in real life. But the bizarre part about that is when people who I don't know will call me by my nicknames, like Dest or Des or Desty or whatever, and it always trips me out, like, wait, how do you know? And then I realize, well, it's not really difficult to come up with that. Dustin Stoner. Hey Des, have you heard about the Stand Up to Stand Your Ground Law's public service announcement? No, I have not. I am unfamiliar with that. I suppose I'll have to look into it. Jose Sosa, we have a great gun club here. You and your dad have a place to stay. Yes, I asked my wife. LOL. There you go, Dad. That means that we have to take a trip down south. Although, right now, the weather's pretty nice. So, but come, like, October, when it starts snowing, I'll be really wishing I was somewhere else. Aussie Wombat, Canberra, Australia, back from the snow. Well, welcome. Getting caught up. Kerman Justic. Try using a pseudonym for so long that you randomly get called as by such in an ice cream shop. I have had a lot of people who call me like Fate or FOD, which I get a huge kick out of. I mean, my name is really unique, right? Destiny. It's not a whole lot of my... Actually, I don't know anybody else at the moment named Destiny, so it's already pretty unique, but I end up collecting nicknames. I have a really wide variety. I enjoy it, though. Bobby Hernandez. October, The Walking Dead comes back on! Yay! I should probably get around to checking that out, but I have not yet looked into it. Friedrich Bonneman, thanks for your review on the wallet holster by Dragon Leather. It's awesome. Oh, you're welcome. I'm really glad that you like that. I wish that my stupid tiny little girl pockets were a little more accommodating so that I could use it more often, but I like it. I think he does some, Dennis over there at Dragon Leather Works does some really incredible work. Great quality. That, and they just look really nice. Each piece I've seen him do is something special. I wish I had that kind of skill. It's really neat to look at. Not just be functional. Alright, looking back through some comments here. Getting caught up. Tennessee Gunnut 94. If I ever meet you in person, I will call you Professor Des. Oh, and Charger 8924 says, hello, Dad of Destiny. William Prophet, liking the bullet necklace. Thank you. It's one of my favorites. I wear it all the time. In part because I like how unique it is, because it's one of a kind, but also it's shaped in my favorite caliber, 45. Would you hand me right on top of the desk there in a purple case? You reminded me of something. Okay. How bad is the glare? Hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, sorry. Let's get looking through here. Woohoo, Walking Dead! I have so many of my friends who are into that show, but I've never seen it. I feel bad. I'm so out of that pop culture loop. It's funny, anytime I'm like in a public place interacting with people, like, I don't know, going to the coffee shop or something, it's so easy for me to get lost in the conversation because I don't listen to a lot of the popular music or the popular TV that's going on. I'm like living under my rock. Rick Breister, what's your input on the 10mm? I've never shot 10mm, sadly, so I don't yet have an opinion except that I'd like to try shooting it just to see the experience. Alright, looking through the comments here. Colleen Barnett, Professor is in the house. Love the glasses, Destiny. Thank you. I like them especially for reading. My vision is well, pretty good, and I find it more convenient to not have to wear glasses all the time, which is why they're not in all my videos, but it is nice to have them for some things. And I do a ton of reading. I am a huge, I'm a voracious reader. I actually just started a new series. I'm pretty excited about it, and I picked it up yesterday, or downloaded it yesterday on my Nook, and I think in one go, I got through like 200 pages. So needless to say, I'm pretty pleased with this series so far. Alessio Baldi, what's on your music playlist right now? I have a running playlist that kind of cycles through some of my favorite stuff that's a little bit faster paced. I have, actually, I have my iPad right here. I can look and tell you what's on my my running playlist. I listen to a lot of Pandora. I have Rammstein, Eisenbrecher, Skillet, System of a Down, Serge Tankian, 3 Days Grace, a few other things. I just listen to a really wide variety of stuff, so it's not always the stuff that's playing on the radio, so I usually just end up listening to either Pandora or, well, yeah, pretty much just Pandora. Or my iPad. But. Colleen Barnett, I've worn glasses every waking moment since I was 4, lol, they are an appendage. Most of my friends who have worse eyesight than me and have to wear the glasses all the time and can't get away with it like I can, they tell me they absolutely hate theirs. But because I only wear mine like pretty much when I'm reading, they're still like fun for me. I still enjoy them. Sometimes they can be a nuisance, like especially in the cold weather, walking from outside to inside and they fog up and everything. But Dustin Stoner, Rammstein, yeah, I've been listening to them since I was like 12, which kind of makes me feel a tiny bit old, but I've never been able to see them in concert. I think that would be one like crazy show. If I could like get through the whole social anxiety part of it, it would be really cool. Jason S., if you like those guys, you might enjoy Breaking Benjamin or Atreyu. I listen to both of them. I also listen to A7X or Avenged Sevenfold, if you prefer. I like Bullet for My Valentine too. I listen to just a little bit of Children of Bodom, and I don't know, I like a pretty wide range. But I listen to, I guess, more rock and electronica than anything else. But there are so many different like little trance bands and stuff I listen to, I don't really keep track of them so much. My dad got me on trance when I was a kid, so now that dubstep is popular, I'm really excited because now some of the stuff that I've been listening to since I was a kid there's more of it, and it's like on the radio, and it's not as like bizarre. That helps me to relate to some people. Marcin Ochman, I'm not sure if that's the right way to say that. If you like fantasy books, maybe you should try The Witcher. I know they just released a game on that for, I believe it's based off of that on the 360. I'll have to look into that now. I'm curious. Scott Messino, Children of Bodom? Just Jesus no? LOL. I just listen to the music. I listen to Marilyn Manson too, but that doesn't mean that I like take some sort of message with me from any of the stuff that I listen to. I mean, I also listen to Skillet, so I don't know. I think I cover a pretty good gambit. Metallica, yes. Do you like Latin music? I love reggaeton. Absolutely love it. And I can't really dance. We're just gonna say I can't really dance, but I absolutely love listening to it, and so then I'll pretend I know how to dance, like sitting in the chair. It's special. Oh man, it's really bad when I'm washing dishes and I have like my headphones plugged in because, well, I don't like cleaning. I don't know anybody who really does, so I like to put on music or something to try to make it less of a chore, and I'll be like dancing around, and it would be probably one of the most embarrassing times for somebody to just like walk into a room and see me because I can't dance. The Eagles. I listen to the Eagles. I also like Kansas. Do you listen to any 80s hair bands? Sometimes. I like Rat. Poison's good. Oh, I went and saw John Bon Jovi. I don't know if he really counts as a hair band, but I enjoy mostly his older stuff, though. His newer stuff I don't get into as much. Just, I don't know, it's not the same. It isn't as exciting to me. When I clean guns, or Tennessee Gun Nut 94, when I clean guns, I listen to the Haircock 45 radio show. I totally do that. Bobby Hernandez, the Black Keys, I love them. Jose Sosa, you just need someone to bring out the Latin in you, LOL. Oh, my brother and I, especially when we're like cleaning stuff up or working on a project together, who put it on. My brother actually can dance, which is funny considering that, you know, he's a dude and he's just as pale as me, so you wouldn't think it to look at him, but it's, I don't know, it's funny. It's a joke between the two of us that he's got better moves than I do. Rick, any opinion on the Smith & Wesson M&P 1522? I know some people who are fond of them, but I've never even shot one, so I don't have a whole ton of, I don't really have an opinion on that. Colleen Barnett, you can flash dance? Oh my gosh, making that video, there was a whole lot of laughter involved because we had to do some experimenting to get the lighting just right to try to emulate the clips from that movie. And for the most part, I'm just sitting there like jogging in place, whipping my like really ridiculously hairsprayed hair back and forth because my hair is wicked straight. Like, I'm not a person who needs to put on use a straightener to get my hair like flat or looking like it's flat ironed. So putting curls into it, I literally emptied like a can of hairspray, like almost the whole can, to get my hair big enough for the Molly character for that video. It was so much fun though. Kerbin Justic, I got my new project gun the other day. Ooh, what you working on? Colleen Barnett, I love Imagine Dragons. My son told me about them. My sister and I are on a huge Imagine Dragons kick right now. She just recently started listening to more of them, so now we quote lines back and forth. I have a really bad habit of quoting things. Music or movies. My brother and my sister and I will have entire conversations back and forth of just quotes. My dad does it too, especially with movies. It bugs the crap out of my mom. She's like, not everybody lives in your head, Dest. Scott Messino, Dest whips her hair back and forth. LOL. I actually like that song. I like how, like, upbeat it is. It's just fun. John B. Going to be getting my 1911 Cerakoted soon, Dark Earth. I've thought about having some finishes put on my, or either Cerakote. Yeah, Cerakote on some of my guns, but I haven't gotten around to it. I don't know. I'm kind of fond of just either the plain like blued or plain stainless finishes. There's just something about them. They're kind of a classic look. Kerbin Justic, High Point C9, turning it into a steampunk gun. Oh, dude, that is way cool. I have a friend who will make a copper-plated holster, putting $400 to $500 of mods into a gun I paid $124. That's brilliant. Charger 8924. Do you listen to any Guns N' Roses? A little bit. I love though Aerosmith. Not exactly the same vein of music, but I don't know, you brought it to mind for some reason. I've been listening to them since I was a kid. I really enjoy them. Chris B, I'm thinking I might buy a Browning High Power. Thoughts? I haven't, unfortunately, gotten to shoot one. I've done some reading on them, and I hear a lot of great things. I hear a lot of people say if you like 1911s, you'll like the High Power. Bill Hudson, just curious, how tall are you? Not being creepy. Average. As far as girls go, I've never been taller than my classmates or shorter than my classmates, really. Pretty much just standard. Which works fine for me. It means that I don't have a hard time like finding clothes that fit or anything. Alessio Baldi, do you follow the TV series Jericho? I've never even heard of that, so no. Tatted, what do you think of the Ruger 1911? That's another 1911 I haven't gotten to shoot, but I've heard some good things. One of the guys who sells guns or one of the gun counter clerks at one of the gun shops I frequent seems to be fond of them, but it's all secondhand knowledge for me. Yankee Marshall, I disagree, ... That was a little creepy. It's better than the guy who commented on one of my videos telling me that I had really great armpits and that you don't see that on ladies these days. Whatever that means, that was totally awkward. I think I had that comment, or I received that comment even like 2 years ago, but it made such a big impression on me, I still remember it verbatim. William Prophet, I'm thinking of building an AK. Curious what country you think makes the better AK. I'm not an AK expert, so I'll just give you that disclaimer right off the bat. I'd like a Romanian or a Polish one when I can afford it. But, my 74... Shoot, actually, I can't remember. I don't think it's Romanian. I don't know, I'll have to go look at it. I haven't shot it in a while. Okay, Jofa Beats, was that Rick James' Destiny? No, he is a more recent commenter who has some interesting things to say. We'll just leave it at that. Jason S. Des, how often do you catch yourself slipping into bad habits while shooting? I caught myself over-gripping with my trigger hand again. Perks of good training is knowing how to self-diagnose afterwards. I totally agree with you. It is such a valuable skill, learning how to self-diagnose. Something that I've been working on in the last couple of training classes that I've gone to. They've had a section looking at your targets and self-diagnosing. One of the problems that I think I most slip into is yanking the trigger. But I'm fortunate in the fact that I often get to shoot with a coach, i.e. my dad. I'd have, there is a trainer at one of the ranges where I go who often will give me advice, and he'll watch me shoot and give me pointers here and there, so that I appreciate too. I'm fortunate that I've had a great wealth of resources available to me as I've been learning how to shoot, in addition to just learning how I shoot from my own practice. Kerbin Justic, I refinished the wood on my Wasser 1063 to a nice chocolate brown. I've seen some of those like Russian red finishes on AKs that are absolutely gorgeous. If I ever, I don't know, get the guts to try and refinish something, which I'm really slow to because I've never done any refinishing. I think I'd want to try like working on something cheaper, like, I don't know, a Mosin or something, but I love the look of those like red looking finishes. But it is so easy to screw up a refinishing project, so I'm very tentative to do it myself. I might just like send it in to one of my gunsmithing friends and ask them really nicely and just pay them to take care of it for me. Because I've seen a lot of people, like especially on YouTube videos, where they go through a refinishing project, and if they're not like super careful and meticulous with how they apply it, it's so easy to get like either streaks or just marring of it. I think my biggest problem there is I am a massive perfectionist, so I would probably find something wrong in it just because I know it's me doing it, you know? But we'll see. I don't know. I like a stock with some character in it, though, especially if I'm buying like a Milsurp gun. I like seeing some marks in it because it, it shows me that it's been used. I don't know what for per se, exactly, necessarily, but I like the idea that a firearm I'm purchasing has some history to it. Alright, I'm getting caught back up on some comments over here. Tennessee Gunnut 94, I like that AR-15 you shot with wooden furniture. Artisan Tony ordered that same stock for his. Yeah, I hadn't encountered wood furniture on an AR before I saw Devon's from Reaper Tactical, and it made quite an impression on me. I don't prefer the A2 style setup for an AR until I saw that wood furniture, and it just completely changed the look of it for me. It's like classy or something. The Kerbin Justic. The finish on the Wasser may has a bit of cat hair. That would probably be one of my problems. I mean, I don't have, a menagerie of animals around, but I've got a dog, and I have 2 cats, and they shed. And every time I leave the house, I have to, go over myself with the lint brushes. We actually have the reusable ones because we were spending a fortune on the sticky-sided ones. Because animals are ridiculous as far as, shedding. Music for Life. I just bought it and got this week. I love it. They have a way of multiplying when you're not paying attention. I very much enjoy those ones. Jeff Eames. So how is everyone? Is Dad of Destiny in the house? Yeah, he's here just kind of chilling out.
We also have a special guest though.
Oh, I forgot. I have a special guest. I've kind of known him for a little while, so I thought this would be a good time to introduce him. Let me go get him. This is my friend here. Let's see if you can see his face. My zombie buddy. And I think I'm going to have to take him shooting pretty soon because he's never been, and I thought it would be a wonderful experience for us to spend some time together, hang out, and shoot zombies. He didn't hear that. Alright, sorry. Oh, by the way, his name is Tim. I didn't realize that until I saw he has a name tag that says Tim.
Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, like in Military Arms Channel, Tim?
No, like in, that's what it says right here. Name, Tim.
Tim.
Apparently his danger level is Extreme 1. I don't know if that's better or worse than Extreme 2 or Extreme 3, but we're going to see how dangerous he is. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to plinking around with that. Tim, the zombie of destiny. There are some who call me Tim. If you recognize that movie quote, I will virtually high-five you. Alessio Baldi. He's not suspecting anything, right? No, we're totally just gonna have a good time at the range. It'll be great. Don't worry, Tim. It'll be a wonderful time. And we'll get video. Savage Henry. Tim the Enchanter! Yeah, you got it! That was me high-fiving you through the internet, just so you know.
I thought of that. Thor's coming.
Thor Deshane. Did anyone else suddenly think of that scene from Full Metal Jacket when they're hanging out with the dead Vietnamese guy?
That was creepy.
Yeah, that was kind of disturbing. My dad says he thought of that too, so I guess you two are on the same wavelength right there. That is one of my favorite movies, by the way. Ruatonim. I like the bumps, scratches, and bruises on my Nagant. It just shows the rough times of being drugged through the mud and war. It tells the tale. Refinishing it would be like erasing all the words, in my opinion. That's very similar to how I feel, especially with when I buy a used firearm. Well, I know it already has a story, so I like the idea that it has its own story. If only it could tell it, you know? Curb and Justic. I just watched FMJ for the first time the last day or two. What? How is this possible? That movie is a classic. One of it's that movie and then Apocalypse Now, specifically the Redux version, are two of my all-time favorite movies. They are two of my favorite like war movies. I really, really like those. I've watched them and continue to watch them very frequently. Bill Hudson, Tim the Enchanter! High five for you, bro! Randy, I totally agree. Surplus guns should look like they've been through war. I've seen so many surplus guns that people, like, I'll go through Gander or whatever, and people resell their old Mosins and whatnot, and they try to refinish them, and it's uneven, or it's scratched, or it's, whatever, it's marred in some way, and then it kind of feels like you took the soul out of the gun and tried to make it pretty, then didn't, and it just kind of makes me sad. And I'm fairly certain if I were to attempt a project, that's how it would look, and I would just have, like, ruined a beautiful, you know, historic, if you will, finish. Just out of curiosity, I know, obviously, I just told you what some of my favorite war movies are. What are some of your guys' favorite war movies? Or shooters in general? action films are some of my favorite. I don't really watch chick flicks unless I'm with my mom and she like begs me to. Destiny, let's watch such and such movie because we're girls together. And then it's like lady, you know, girly time or whatever. But like personally in my own collection out of like, I don't know, 150 DVDs, I have maybe 2 girly ones. Now I'm getting some of your responses. Arlie Ermy is the man. Absolutely. First Blood, Act of Valor. Ooh, I liked Act of Valor. Band of Brothers, that was a good one too. Platoon, Shooter. I haven't seen that one. Death Wish, Casualties of War, We Were Soldiers. I liked that too. A Bridge Too Far. I haven't seen that one. In Harm's Way. I just recently watched Red 5 times. I haven't seen that. Black Hawk Down. Gosh, I haven't seen Black Hawk Down since I was a kid. I should really go and see that again. Saving Private Ryan. I can't watch that one. That affects me emotionally, like in a big way. Same thing with Atonement. If you've ever seen Atonement, I ended that like bawling. It was like the least like. It was one of my most like sentimental moments, I guess. It was just. Ugh. Saving Private Ryan, I have a really hard time with, especially knowing that my brother is overseas right now. I can't watch it. It just... That'll have to be some other time, maybe after his contract is up or something. It's a really great movie, but just like hits just a tiny bit too close to home. Predator. Yes! I have all the Alien movies, and so now I'm trying to get all the Predator movies on Blu-ray. Love it. The Boondock Saints. Excellent. Expendables 1 and 2. You know, I thought those were going to be a lot better than they were. I guess because I was hoping to see more of the other actors and not just mostly Sylvester Stallone, but they're definitely action-packed. Terminator 2, yes. Die Hard, all of them. I've seen all but like the most recent 2, I think. All Quiet on the Western Front, the Lethal Weapon movies, all of Tarantino, all of Rodriguez, and all of Kubrick. I couldn't live without them. I would have to say, Alessio, I share your taste in directors. Although I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey, that's Kubrick, right? And there was some weird stuff in that. Most of it I liked. It was just like the last 30 minutes that was just, what? But Aliens 2 was the best. The Marines kicked butt. Transporter 1 was good. Ooh, yeah, I liked that. Serenity. I've been told I'm supposed to watch that. Enemy at the Gates. I liked that movie. That was fun. The Patriot. Is that a shooter/action movie? Totally. I don't think Braveheart counts as a shooter, but it's totally an action. I like that. It's a Mel Gibson movie. Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yes. I didn't like the last one as much, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was just like a little bit too, I don't know, wonky. Starship Troopers, Deer Hunter. Watch Firefly first. That's what I'm told. I haven't gotten to watching Firefly because I had an ex-boyfriend who was completely just like madly in love with that show. And it was a really like sad, emotional breakup. So then anytime I thought of Firefly, it just made me think of him. And I'm like, nope, 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 nope. So I should probably pick it up now, seeing as how that was like forever ago. Red Dawn, Wolverines! Oh, seeing as how you've seen Red Dawn, did you see the older one or the remake? And what was your, what's your preference? Because I know some people who were totally just disgusted by the remake and hated it. Dmitry Volkov prefers the original Red Dawn. Dustin Stoner also prefers the original. Didn't you start asking about war movies? I did, but then I expanded it into shooters and action movies in general because I like them. And I'm getting already a whole bunch of great recommendations to go check out. Scott Messino. My neighbor's wife used to be Kubrick's secretary for years. And he used to be the art director for Clockwork Orange and 2001. He also did Star Wars. They've got so much movie memorabilia. That is really cool. Nope, I'm seeing most people who've seen both Red Dawns prefer the older one. Gran Torino, although it's not really a shooter movie. That's Clint Eastwood, right? Obviously, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm told I should. Apparently, the new Red Dawn was stupid. Aw, womp womp. Man, what a wide subject. We've got a whole tons of responses. Curb and Justic, see Red. It was great. Just trust me when I lie. Tries to look innocent. Tennessee. Wow, sorry, their comments are running through quickly. Tennessee Gunnut 94. Get off my lawn. Yeah, it's Eastwood. Jeff Eames, Saving Ryan was really good. Was good. Really disappointed with Hurt Locker. Really? I liked the Hurt Locker. I actually bought the Hurt Locker. Memphis Belle. I have not heard of that. Okay, well, I have this habit when I'm watching action movies, which, as you can tell now, I do pretty frequently, where I have to identify the guns that are in movies. So does anybody else have that affliction, if you will? It drives one of my best friends, if I ever watch movies with her, it drives her absolutely nuts. She's like, Destiny, can't we just watch a movie? But I have to know. So if I can't figure it out, usually my dad can figure it out. And if dad can't figure it out, then we'll go to imfdb.org, the Internet Movie Database, or Firearms Database. There we go. I love that site. That site is fabulous. I've only found like one movie that they didn't have the guns for it. That was pretty cool. Lutz Mawinski, by the way, I'm sorry again if I mispronounce anybody's names. Yep, I do that too. Excellent! Jesse Vanderhayden. Yes, guns and watches. I have to rewind them if I can't ID them on the spot. Oh, you totally had me with watches. I'm completely like, I don't even wear a watch. I had a couple of sports watches, and then I just break them, and then I forget to get new ones. I would be completely out of my element. Tennessee Gunnut 94. I have the same habit. Also, if a movie does something fake with the guns, it ruins it for me. Oh man, I go crazy over. I love watching Doctor Who, right? So especially when I'm like running, I'll throw on some Doctor Who on my iPad. And there was an episode I watched just recently where he was running around with a revolver a lot. And every time he touched the gun, I swear to goodness, he had his finger in the trigger guard. And every time I saw it, I had to yell at my iPad screen, telling him to get his finger out of the trigger guard because he was going to shoot somebody by accident. But he's a doctor, so of course he didn't shoot somebody by accident. But I still was irritated. I can't help myself. But there'll be other stuff, like when somebody shoots a car, and then it just explodes in some gigundo fireball of doom. That's pretty ridiculous. Or, oh, like, as much as I love Machete, it's just a silly, fun movie. It drives me nuts when, what is that actress, that redhead that keeps going in the news? Well, she has the 500, Smith & Wesson 500, the big 8-inch barrel model, and she just points it single-handedly, shoots it, 0 recoil. Oh, and the guy she shoots survives it. Because, 3 shots point blank. Lindsay Lohan. That's her name, Lindsay Lohan. I couldn't think of it. But yeah, Lindsay Lohan shoots Robert De Niro. And it's okay, because Robert De Niro was wearing a vest. So, of course, he survived 3 point blank shots from a 500 Magnum. Of course. Scott, did you see Bloomberg's safety violation yesterday? No, I did not. What happened? I have seen a lot of pictures of Feinstein having the worst trigger discipline and muzzle discipline ever. Looking back through movies. Machete, 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 machete. I love that movie. I'm totally looking forward to seeing the sequel of Machete Kills. Love that stuff. Ever watched a movie where someone cocked a Glock? Yes. That or when someone draws it from their holster, it makes some sort of like metallic like chink sound. You're like, what was that? You just drew it from a holster. Why are you what sound was that supposed to be? The Rev is laughing at me saying Gigundo. I like making up words sometimes, or a lot of times. Looking through. Ooh, one of the fun things though when trying to ID guns in movies is when they've like modded guns, like the RoboCop's gun. Yeah, that's based off of the auto Beretta 92, but it's got a whole bunch of like other fancy jazz on it. That is fun. I enjoy that. It's a game for me. Curb Majestic. Trejo's Machete is the same character in Spy Kids. He confirmed this. Oh, and the kid from Spy Kids, the ginger boy, the redhead, is totally the adopted kid in Machete, which I got the hugest kick out of when I recognized him. I'm like, I know him! Only he was a lot shorter and less aged, which is crazy. Rev, laughing with you. EOTechs are always on backwards in the movies. Oh man, that always cracks me up. I saw actually a picture of a SWAT officer who had his EOTech mounted backwards, and I had to chuckle at that. I'm sure that's, you know, not a normal thing, but it was still funny to be like, ah, come on. The Walking Dead, TDC Man 1, Walking Dead had a Maglite flashlight as a suppressor. That's interesting. Jofa Beats, Reservoir Dogs. That is one of my all-time favorites, too. That's on, like, the top 10 right there. But I love pretty much everything Tarantino has done, so it's not really a huge surprise if you know what kind of movies I like. I think his dialogue is fantastic. He does such a great job with building making realistic characters with that. In my opinion, of course. I mean, I'm not an expert on movie critique, but... Del Reed, check out Kiera's gun in the new series Continuum. Basically constructs itself when pulled out. Well, that would be interesting to see. Oh, by the way, some people are having some buffering issues. Usually just hitting F5, refreshing your window is enough to get caught up. So try that out if you're having some issues. Sorry, I get thirsty. Dmitry Volkov. That was the best Tarantino movie, in my opinion. I don't know, man. Have you seen Inglourious Basterds? That movie is pretty spectacular. If you like Tarantino, which that is obviously my bias, it's my favorite Tarantino. I really like it. I liked Django Unchained, but not as much as Inglourious Basterds. That's like my quintessential Tarantino masterpiece movie. Jesse Vanderhayden. I liked the Kill Bill movies the best. Love the Kill Bill movies. I could just about recite them, except for when they start speaking French and Japanese. Obviously, then I'm a little bit lost. Thor DeShane. I agree, Des, on Tarantino's dialogue. The end of Four Rooms was fantastic. I haven't seen Four Rooms. I know there are some things that Tarantino has done, like screenplays or scripts for, that I haven't seen. Like, crap, I can't remember. I've seen everything but, like, 1 or 2. Jacob Sims. Holy huge drink, LOL. Yeah, it convinces me to drink the water that I need to drink if I have a really big bottle and I can flavor it. Because otherwise I won't drink it on my own. Even though I know I'm supposed to. Randy. Tarantino, for me, is Pulp Fiction. That is another one of my favorites. I've watched that over and over and over again. Oh, if refreshing isn't working for you, you might want to try pausing and then unpausing. That seems to be working for some people. Jeff Eames, did anyone see the police movie End of Watch? No, I have not seen it. Alessio Baldi, can you recite something for us, please? Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. That's actually an exchange between two characters, but still, it's for the movie. Looking back through the comments here. Savage Henry, I won't watch movies like like Django or Machete. I like them, but not everybody has to share my taste. Let's see. I think for when I watch a movie or listening to music, I don't know whoever the people are. So I only take in the artistic value of having the whole composition of the movie together. And sometimes it's enough just to have some really crazy elements, like in 30 Days of Night. Plot not super strong. It doesn't really form a great backbone, but I love the gore in it because it's so over the top. It's crazy. So I guess I have a pretty wide range of what's interesting to me in a movie. Thor to Shane, good foreign action movie, 13 Assassins. You know, that is on my instant queue right now. I was thinking of watching it last night, and we ended up watching a documentary instead. I watch a lot of documentaries. I think I have my dad to blame for that. I've been watching them since I was a kid. I especially love the forensic detective stuff. My mom has been telling me since I was 7 that she thinks that I should go into school for that. Darren Lester, you need to do a video of a PPQ or a CZ75. I have a video, a production in the works, in progress. I'm working on it on a CZ75 BD Police. And I am fond of it. Just say that. It shoots nicer than my M9.
Yeah, you shot that a lot lately.
Yeah, lately I've been putting a lot of rounds through it. I want my own. My dad is nice enough to have let me shoot his because he bought that for himself, but I fell in love with it, so I keep asking him to shoot it. Please, Daddy, please. But he has obliged me. Dmitry Volkov, what about Heat? Great De Niro movie. I really enjoyed De Niro, but I haven't seen Heat. Tennessee Gunnut 94. Have you seen Battle LA? No, but I have seen Battle Royale. Does that count? It's Japanese. It's pretty awesome. Scott Messino, Fate of Destiny has turned into Rotten Tomatoes. You know, it's funny, I won't go out to the movie theater to see a movie unless I've read at least 6 to 12 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Otherwise, I'll just wait till it hits DVD and rent it through Redbox or stream it through Netflix or just go out and buy the DVD. I guess silly like that, but going out to the theater is so expensive, you know? You can easily, just on one person, drop $50. It's crazy. And if you want to have 2 people go, between tickets, especially if you want to reserve your seat ahead of time for one of the bigger blockbusters, when Superman 3 came out, or Superman 3, I meant Iron Man 3 or Superman. That's what I was trying to say. So, just because I really like movies, but I don't really like spending $50 on movies, there are only certain things that I'll decide is worthwhile to go and experience in the theater. Thor to Shane, I try not to listen to movie reviews anymore. Most reviewers are cynical, snobby a-holes. There's definitely quite the spread of those, which is why I try to get a large number of reviews to have less bias. Bobby Hernandez, thumbs up on Dad of Destiny's Sig Sauer Platinum Elite. Yeah, that's his barbecue gun. It's He also carries it, though. It's nice. I'm totally jealous. I love that thing.
You shoot it pretty well.
That says I shoot it pretty well. I like the short receding trigger on it. Sometimes it takes me...
The grip is a little too big for you.
Yeah, from front to back, the grip is too wide, I guess. Too long from front to back, and so it just doesn't fit my hand as well as some things. Yankee Marshall, it costs me $100 every time we go to the movies. Yeah, that's exactly the stuff I'm talking about. It's kind of crazy. Jose Sosa, Des, tell your dad I think he did a great job of raising a good girl. Got to go. Aww. Well, thanks for joining, and thank you for the kind words to my dad. Alessio Baldi, drooled on Dad of Destiny's SIG. I guess it needs more oil for all the drooling it has on it, lol. Yeah! Scott Messino, he packs heat at barbecues? Wherever.
I drool over Yankee Marshall's wheel guns. He's got some nice SIGs, too.
My dad says he drools over Yankee Marshall's wheel guns and that he has some nice SIGs, too. So, Yankee, your guns have fans in the Fate of Destiny household. Colleen Barnett, gotta run, Destiny. Great live chat. Have a great week. Thanks, Colleen. Curb Majestic, carry every day, everywhere. I carry as often as legally possible. I don't want to put myself in a bad situation, but that means that I don't want to be in trouble legally, and I don't want to be in danger of not carrying. I believe that sometimes bad things just happen to good people, and that they happen most often when they're not expecting it. So the more prepared that I can be, the better my odds are. Stephen Hildreth, guess who's back? Back again. Is it shady? Should I tell a friend? Scott Messino, did you get your Geisler trigger for your DDM4 V7 yet? I recommend the SDC trigger with the flat bow if you have trouble with trigger press or jerking, etc. I will look into that, and no, I haven't gotten one. I was thinking of maybe the dedicated marksman trigger. Yankee Marshall, I had to do unspeakable things to get some of those guns. Dmitry Volkov, Sig Shoot, Dad of Destiny versus Yankee Marshall. Alright, Yankee, looks like we have to meet up, do some videos so my dad can shoot your SIGs. That's just gotta happen.
I won't do any unspeakable things.
Dad says he won't do any unspeakable things, though. Stephen Hilda Jr. Hey, Joe, as Solid Snake would say, kept you waiting, huh? I think a Solid Snake might be your spirit guide, just saying. Darren Lester, I just bought a Beretta Nano for my carry. How do you like it? Just curious. Yankee Marshall, that sounds dirty. It would. Sorry, I just got an influx of comments. I guess it's me being slow reading them, honestly. John B. I don't always carry a gun. ... Just kidding. I always carry a gun. Alright, get caught back up here. I don't know if that's ME Heart 1911 or Main Heart. I don't know, or just Me Heart. Maybe I'm looking at into that way too more, making that way more complicated than it needs to be. Love my P238 and my P938. I have a P238. It is like my most conceal friendly option. I like it too because a lot of times I carry my 1911, and so transferring from the 1911 down to the little bitty SIG, despite the size change, it's still similar in feel because the operation is similar. Darren Lester, love it so far. Only got 75 rounds through it now. Hey Des, what type of defensive ammo do you carry? Just picked up some more Remington Golden Saber bonded. Holy moly, self-defense ammo can be pricey. Yeah, it can. Especially if you're like me you get a couple of boxes for your carry ammo, and then you get a couple of boxes just to shoot to, you know, see how it runs and to stay fresh with how it runs through your gun. It can get pricey really quickly. Right now, I'm running Hornady Critical Defense. Stephen Hildreth Jr., completely random. Your glasses are cute. At Dad of Destiny, in a strictly platonic way. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, we were talking about them earlier, is that I get to enjoy my glasses because I really only need them when I'm reading, which I enjoy reading, so I only have, like, positive associations with them. It can be a little bit of a nuisance walking from cold weather into a warm room or something, but I still get to enjoy wearing glasses because I don't have to have them on 24/7. Let's see. Tennessee Gun Nut 94. I wish I could carry a gun, but since I can't, I carry a rape whistle, but it doesn't work. I blow it all the time, but I haven't been raped yet. I see what you did there. Corbin Justic, have you ever had a problem deciding what gun you want to carry when you go out? I just started having that issue. Sometimes, especially being a female, and sometimes I like to dress nicer, just, you know, because, or maybe I'm going out to celebrate something, like a promotion or whatever, and I don't want to have to wear, you know, the jeans and the baggy sweater or something. I've had to do a lot of trial and error to make my concealed carry work for me. Actually, I have a whole article series on some of the different solutions that I've come up with from my female perspective on how to conceal carry effectively, but still get to dress cute. Because it's a bit of a challenge, especially if you are that special kind of person like me who decides, oh, I know I'm a female and I already have a hard time conceal carrying. Why don't I carry full-size pistols? Because I like full-size pistols better and I shoot them better and they have better capacity. So I've had to get creative with different cover garments, and having a great holster is half the battle, seriously. I'll play a game I call Where's the Gun? If I'm not sure that an outfit I'm wearing is going to conceal or is concealing effectively, I'll go walk up to one of my family members and ask them, where's the gun? If they can find it, then I know I didn't do a good job with concealing and I'll have to try something out. And if they don't find it, I win, and I get to wear the outfit out. Charger 8924. I'm not new here. I have attended every live stream. This past Friday was my birthday. Well, happy belated birthday, Charger. Did you do anything fun? Steve Wallace. Darn, I have joined the event very late indeed, living in the UK and got my times confused. I don't blame you. I try to have, I have friendships with a number of people who aren't in my time zone, just even in the United States. But I also have some friends overseas, and I'm really bad at remembering what time it is. So I feel your pain there. I'm glad that you were able to make it for part of the conversation. We still have another half an hour or so to go. Tennessee Gunnut 94. You impress me with your double-action revolver shooting. Most people pansy out and go single-action. I don't consider it pansying out to shoot single-action, but I do think it's more fun to shoot double-action, so that's my personal preference. Although, when I shot the cowboy action shooting, I was totally, like, out of my element because I'm expecting to one long trigger pull and bam. When you shoot single action guns, though, you are forced to manually cock that hammer. So that was something, if you watch the couple of videos, you can see I'm working through making that mental adjustment. Looking up through the comments. Michael Gonzalez, have you done M&P review? Not yet. I don't own any M&Ps, and I haven't gotten any M&Ps for test and eval, but if I can get my hands on one, I'd definitely be interested in looking it over. Charger 8924. Had a nice family dinner at the Olive Garden. Thank you, Destiny and everyone. I love the Olive Garden. The breadsticks are so good. Bradley, Des, what do you usually carry in your P238? I haven't carried a 380 in a while. I think I have Hornady critical defense in there too. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to go look at it because honestly, I haven't had a whole lot of functions where I haven't been able to carry a 9mm or 45, and it is my preference to carry 9mm or larger if I have the opportunity to. So it's only once in a great while that I'm going to something really, I don't know, where I have to dress really fancy and it's really difficult to conceal carry. Then maybe I'll go with the 238 just because it's really conceal friendly. But I live under a rock and I don't have a social life, so I don't really go out a whole lot. It's not really a problem. Yankee Marshall. That is why some of us old guys use that weird weak thumb on top grip. You can use the weak hand to cock the hammer. I tried doing that. Of course, it took me to like the 4th stage out of a 5-stage match to try that, but that seemed to be a little bit helpful, especially because I was shooting 45 long Colt, but the way it was loaded pretty light, so recoil was just nothing at all. It's just an adjustment. I was also adjusting to, like, I usually am shooting like semi-automatic rifles and shooting that lever action. I once or twice forgot to chamber the next round. Just not used to firing those types of firearms. That's part of what made it fun and challenging, though. It's stepping outside of my element and doing something new. And I enjoy that. Yankee Marshall. The tactical YouTube guys will yell at you for that grip, though. Yeah. Well, hey, you gotta shoot what works for you. And as long as I'm not putting my thumbs in a place where they're gonna get seared from the gases leaving the cylinder, I'm okay. Let's get caught back up. Oh, every time I go to read a comment, it like jumps into the newer ones, and so I'll be halfway through reading one, and well. YouTube. Sorry, I got lost again. Oh, by the way, I've been trying to remember to talk to you guys about this, but haven't gotten around to it, or I remember it like 30 seconds before the end of the conversation. So, I'm going to bring it up now. For those of you who have noticed, my Fate of Destiny YouTube channel is approaching 50,000 subscribers, which is totally awesome and crazy and wonderful. Apparently, I actually hadn't checked, but my dad just looked at it. Looks like we're about 500 away or so from 50K, which is really, really cool. Well, I really appreciate how our people have taken time out of their days for the last like 2.5 years. Some of you have been through that entire time watching me develop in my video production and my social skills and my shooting skills. And I want to be able to give back. So I'm going to have a big giveaway. And I'm hoping that I can ask for your help and work together towards my goal for this 50K giveaway. I'm going to do something completely different than what I've ever done before. And I want to first pitch the idea to you guys and tell you what I'm planning on in a live stream. Because, you know, I consider you guys my friends, seeing as how you're sitting here, 73 of you are sitting here chatting with me. So I consider you to be my closest viewers. But I want to do something really cool, or at least I think it's really cool, not something I've done before, and use the opportunity to be able to give back to you guys, to the people who I've been talking with this whole time. And well, I hope that you're willing to work together with me on this project, because we are very close to initiating that. A Yankee Marshall. If I hit 50,000 subscribers, I have promised to strangle a Call of Duty nerd with my bare hands on live air. Fantastic! Oh man, that'll get some comments. Curb and Justic topped at 79 people, I think, tonight. That's awesome. Dustin Stoner Range Day with Destin, Dad of Destiny? No, it's going to be a giveaway. I will be giving something, but it's something that I hope will help build the YouTube firearms enthusiast community. And I'd like to ask for some volunteers who are willing to help me put this project together and make everything work. So if you're interested, send me a PM on YouTube, just Fate of Destiny, or on Facebook. I have the facebook.com/fate.of.destiny. You can send me a message through that account if you're not already friends with me. Music for live COD players getting beaten? I'd subscribe to that channel. So, I occasionally play Call of Duty. How awful is that? I'm feeling a little guilty now. I'm not good at it. I don't know if that makes it any better. I don't know, maybe that makes it more pathetic. I don't like playing online as much, though. It's more fun to play it with friends because I'm not very good. I get my butt handed to me a lot. I'm one of those people that gets, like, cussed out, like, oh man, you totally suck, and what's wrong with you? And if I ever play online, so I don't. But I do enjoy the multiplayer, at least with friends. Oh, speaking of, like, Call of Duty nerds and transferring into real world firearms, I just checked out this, technically it's like laser tag, but they are also a training facility. It's called iCombat, and it's a completely different approach to laser tag. Like, their firearms, well, their laser guns are based off of real firearms, and they also they actually action, like their rifles, the bolt actions. They have like a little bit of recoil because they have CO2 cartridges. The pistol, the recoil is very similar to an actual, like, a 9mm pistol. Some cool stuff. Yeah, it's based off of a Glock pistol. And the rifle is based off of an M4 type configuration. And they have, like, missions that they run. It's some neat stuff. I think I'm going to do some videos about that. But let's see. What is the website? Is it just iCombat.com, I believe?
You can Google iCombat, I-C-O-M.
But if you just Google it, ICOMBAT, you'll come up with it. Some neat stuff. Steve Wallace. Hey, Destiny, do you own a Glock? I'm a huge fan of Glocks, but semi-auto pistols are banned over here in the UK due to our draconian government. Frown. Do you prefer M&Ps over Glocks for self-defense? Oh man, that's a little bit of a can of worms, isn't it? I don't prefer Glocks, but that's just because in general I prefer full metal pistols to polymer pistols.
You shoot a Glock better than you do an M&P.
I do shoot a Glock better than I shoot an M&P. I have a hard time with the triggers on the M&Ps. They're kind of squishy. But I have heard a lot about how restrictive the firearms legislation is in Europe in general, but in the UK and in Germany, because I have some friends and viewers who are across the pond, and I would totally love to go visit. I'd love to. There are a lot of sites I'd like to see, especially because I am a huge history geek, but I especially like art and architecture, and there's a lot of different stuff I'd like to go see just around Europe in general. But the idea of having to leave my guns at home is kind of a bummer. But I guess I kind of got off topic from the Glock discussion. For those of you who aren't familiar with my stance on them, I don't think Glocks are bad guns, and I'm not, I don't give Glock wielders a hard time because they're not my preference, but I don't think that they're bad guns. I think that they've established the reputation they have for a reason. I just don't prefer the grip angle, and I like a little more solidity, a little more weight to my gun. But I know they work great for some people. I know a whole lot of competitors who shoot, like, freaking amazing with Glocks. Lutz Mowinski. Okay, should you ever be in the Rhine-Ruhr area, give me a whistle. If I ever do make it out to the UK, I'll have to tell people. One day, when I'm all rich and famous and I can afford to actually travel at my leisure, I can do some travel if I can do, like, road trips, but I haven't been out of the country since I was little. Very little. Like a toddler. Or in primary school, at least. By the way, I noticed that Polish Pistolera is on the conversation. Hi. We were talking about Cowboy Action a little bit. I don't know if you caught that. That may have been a little bit before I noticed you joined, but... Dmitry Volkov. That sounds so cool. We'll have to look up iCombat. I totally recommend it, because I was in there and I was walking around their setup. It's awesome. Yeah, they do law enforcement training. With Force on Force, they have a breachable door, breachable window. What they do is, instead of having simunition rounds, it's a laser, but if you are hit, if the laser strikes you anywhere on the vest or your headgear, you get a little electric shock. You get a little zap, so it's uncomfortable, and you could feel like, oh, shoot. And they do wound simulation, where if you do get hit, it will periodically zap you again, but at random, to simulate, like, the pain from a wound.
Just negative reinforcement.
Yeah, it's just negative reinforcement. It's not like it actually, like, hurts, but it's, you notice it.
That shock, that's just for the LEs.
Yes, it's just for the law enforcement training. Dmitry Volkov, is that in Wisconsin, Des? I know it's in Wisconsin, but they're a chain, so they should have places elsewhere, not just in Wisconsin, I believe. Jeff Eames, good to see mature people here and not trolls. Knock on wood. Yeah, I think most of my friends are really respectful, and I really appreciate you guys who, if you have a disagreement, you know, don't get obnoxious about it. But just in case, I do have my dad on duty if there is somebody who decides to come and be a little bit ridiculous in a bad way instead of in a silly way. That's part of why I have Dad sitting in on these chats, just, you know, in case. But so far, we've not really had a problem with that. Like, twice ever has he had to say anything. Or once. Maybe it was just once, actually. Dmitry Volkov. Definitely taking my brother to that when I'm in Wisconsin. Thanks for the heads up. Yankee Marshall. What do you mean, no trolls? I am here. Stephen Hildreth Jr. DOD. Dad on duty? Yeah, or Dad of Destiny. Trophy Beats. Trolls get to talk to Dad of Destiny. Well, I'd rather spend my time talking to you guys, you know, than somebody who's doesn't really want to chat with me and just wants to, like, start arguments or, I don't know, have some negative attention. But there are plenty of you guys to sit here and, you know, go back and forth chatting with, so it's not really a problem. Sherry Minkle. I'm considering the flashbang holster for my XDS for fall-winter carry. Do you have experience or an opinion on this holster? I use a Remora thigh holster for summer carry. Well, I have anatomy that's very particular to myself, so I have a harder time telling another woman whether or not it's going to work for them. I am not blessed enough to be able to make the flashbang work. It's just too obvious regardless of what I carry. I think the only way I could personally make it work is if with like a little bitty little Derringer or something, so I don't choose to use them. But I hear they're kind of heavy too. I don't know, a fully loaded XDS, that would be a couple of pounds hanging from your bra. I've also seen people who, well, they have movement. Those people who have to move around with them a lot, they aren't as secured as they could be. And anytime somebody has to lean forward at all, it, like, flips up. This is really difficult to talk about and keep it politically correct and not be, like, lewd. Yankee Marshall, mine works fine with my Glock 26. Wow. Especially if I'm having a bloat month. Oh my god. Dmitry Volkov, Des, you said you want to try hunting. Would you consider, that's definitely not a word. Would you consider Vertex hog hunting? It looks awesome. I would really, really love to go hog hunting sometime. Like, just one day. That's another one of those, like dream ideas that would be absolutely awesome to have at least just one experience. But one day, that would be really cool. I have not heard of Vertex specifically, but that's because I haven't actually gone out and started planning a hunt or anything, but, you know. I'm sorry that I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Tell me how to pronounce it. I've been saying... I know it's Lutz Mowinski. I feel really bad when I mispronounce somebody's name. I'm sorry. Steve Wallace. Luckily, lever guns are perfectly legal to own over in the UK, so I'm saving up for a Winchester Mod 66 Yellow Boy. Ooh, those are beautiful guns. Polish Pistolero. Hog hunting for me too, Des. Yeah, I think it would be such a neat experience. Del Reed. Hog hunting is on my bucket list, and I live in Florida, so I will make that one happen. Man, a bunch of us are saying hog hunting looks good. Did you just change it to Jade instead of whatever I was saying before? That I know how to say. Music for life. I go bacon hunting, ... in my local shop, right? Yeah, that's my kind of hunting. I'm successful every time. LOL. Jade, that's the name I'm most commonly roaming around the net anyway. Icky Marshall, just pull nothing fancy and call everyone dude. But what if they're a chick? Then do I call them chick? Dudette. I always hated dudette. Well, not hated, it just kind of sounds strange. I don't know. Steve Wallace, I'm a huge fan of bow hunting too. I have quite the collection as they are completely unrestricted. Sorry, off topic. No, not at all. That's totally on like guns and gear, and it's a shooting sport of a type. My sister is really big on shooting bow or on archery in general, and so she keeps trying to tell me I need to get a bow, but I haven't gotten around to it. I'd like to. I like the idea of it, especially because your ammo lasts a lot longer when you're practicing bow hunting than when you're practicing target shooting with a pistol. Savage Henry, it's nearly 2014. Chicks are dudes too. LOL. Okami Jigoku, hello, sorry I'm so late. I was delivering a sword for Michael Z. Williamson. Oh, you make swords? That's cool. Thor Deshane, archery is fun. Yeah, they have a place around here. Actually, my brother went there for a birthday, and I had to work, so I didn't get to go. But apparently, it's something that I need to go and try out. I have so much fun shooting with my handguns and long guns, and I really want to get into more shooting shotguns more. So I've got this like long list of stuff that I want to shoot. Polish Pistolero, I just got rid of my bow to get another gun. Yeah, that's probably the boat that I would find myself in, or well, it's similar to the boat that in which I currently find myself. Where if I save up enough money to put toward like a nice bow, I'd rather put it toward a gun or even a nice knife. I like knives. Dmitry Volkov, can't go wrong with hummingbird bows. They are like the 1911 of bow. I will remember that when I actually get around to going and purchasing one. Curb and Justic, amusingly enough, my self-defense piece next to my PC is not a gun, but a small crossbow. My grandfather just recently got a crossbow for hunting. Jacob Sams, I have many friends that are into bow fishing. They love it. Man, that sounds complicated. Don't you have to account for refraction then of the light when you're fishing with a bow? Man, I am awful at geometry. I would probably be terrible with that. Darren Lester, gotta go. Bye, Destiny, and don't forget to do a video of a PBQ. Well, if I can get my hands on a PBQ, I've heard so many good things. It would be a great opportunity. But thanks for joining the conversation. Oh, by the way, 9 more minutes. Whoa, sorry, Rick Breister, sorry. Yep, got to aim low. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Bradley says bow fishing, aim low. Alright. Duly noted. It looks like I'm going to have to go bow fishing. Jade, spear fishing, or jigging, has that problem too. Yeah, it makes sense. You know, I haven't gone fishing at all this summer. That makes me kind of sad. That's something that I used to do all the time when I was a kid. Was my grandfather every summer. Gosh, even with my mom, we went fishing all the time. But that's one of the things that is unfortunate about, you know, growing up and everything. It's so hard to go and make time for fun stuff like that. Getting caught back up on some Okami Jigoku. By the way, Gen Con was awesome, Des, and you should totally go next year. It's on my bucket list, if nothing else. I definitely would like to go, but yeah, we'll see. Thor Shane, haven't got to your latest video yet, but that AR with the wood furniture looks amazing. It's a looker. It shoots too, though. It's not just a safe queen. Rubatonin, blow dart guns are cool. Put a laser on mine. I didn't even know that was a thing that you could go out and buy from places, a blow dart gun, until I saw it on Top Shot one season. That's some neat stuff. William Prophet, if you like the knives, look at an Emerson with the Wave. I have one. I did a review on it, and I absolutely love it. It's a high-quality knife, for sure. Oh, by the way, I'm really excited. On the Arms Guide, we just recently picked up 2 new authors, 2 new contributors. So now we have 8 of us. I can do mental math. Or can I? But no, really, we have 8 of us, and we produce content every day. And it's from, what I enjoy most about the site is that it's from an everyday shooter's perspective. It's not, you know, the high-speed, low-drag, military, you know, if you haven't been shooting all your life or you're not professional because it's your job, you'll still benefit from the site. So if you haven't already, go to thearmsguide.com and let me know what you think. We're always interested in hearing your feedback. We've got articles on self-defense, concealed carry, gun news. We do gear reviews, gun reviews, and just talk about the shooting sports and firearms training in general. So let me know what you think. I really enjoy this site. I'm really lucky to have the opportunity to work on something that I'm so passionate about and work with some really awesome people. But let's see here.
How many total authors do you have?
8.
8?
Yeah.
Including yourself?
Well,
9.
9 including myself. So there are 8 authors besides me. We have about 6 more minutes, so for anybody else who has some more questions, I can answer a few more before we have to go. Eric Kimichik, which I'm still not sure that I'm pronouncing that correctly, so I'm sorry if I keep saying that wrong over and over again. The articles on Tag are awesome. Thank you! Oh, Peter Duffy says, more artwork, please. I'm actually working on a little art project right now. I should finish that. I don't think I'll have the time to do it tonight.
What is it? Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah. It's a bit of a surprise, so when I get finished with it, I will definitely be showing you guys. Maybe I'll show live stream before I show YouTube, but, well, we'll see. It's not done yet, so can't count my chickens before they're hatched. Jade, one thing, Des. Have you shot an FNP 45 Tactical yet? No, I have not. I haven't shot any FN handguns, actually. I have shot a couple of FN rifles, and I liked those, but it's completely different, so... Steve Wallace, you're a very good presenter, Dest. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. I definitely have my moments where my mind is working at a different speed than my mouth, and it ends up jumbling what I'm trying to say. Or I just sit there with, like, one of those awesome derpy looks on my face. Or I'll stutter. More than anything, though, I ramble. You know, kind of like right now. I'm working on it, though, and I'm making some progress. The first, like, 5 to 10 minutes of any live stream are my most, like, uncomfortable because I'm thinking to myself, oh man, what if I say something dumb, or what if I don't know what to talk about, because this is totally unscripted, which is why sometimes we have some odd conversations, but I really enjoy the discussion. Charger 8924. How long of a time span is there between shooting a video and uploading it? Pun intended. I see what you did there. It usually takes me about a week or so, depending on the complexity of the post-production. I really enjoy not just the recording of the video and the researching and the work beforehand, but I enjoy the post-production just as much. So I'm always trying to do new things and learn new techniques or new manners of presenting information or edutainment, if you like. My goal is you are introduced to a new subject that you walk away from a video having learned something, but even if you haven't learned something, at least you got a smile. Okay, Ruitonum. YouTubers are far better for gun reviews. Watching some of the presenters on TV are just so boring. Like paint drying Olympics. Man, that would be painful, paint drying Olympics. I've watched paint dry because I'm a girl and sometimes I paint my nails, although not recently. And, you know, that's part of the process is waiting for that, but I can't say I do it because I enjoy it. Bobby Hernandez, beer is good too. Yes, beer is good. Let's see. Tom Gordon, is the gun bimbo a thing of the past, or will she return? She might. Peter Duffy, good night. It's Betty time for me. Well, thanks for joining us, Peter. I always enjoy having your contributions to conversation. Dmitry Volkov, Des, what are you carrying at the moment, if I may ask? The XDS 45. Because I'm wearing a skirt today, and it's just a lot easier to have a little slim profile firearm like that. Kerbin Justic, she keeps promising to make a meet and greet out here. Still waiting. Okay, so we only had one so far. I know. I'm sorry. I ended up having work come up. Rick Breister, Des, I vote Power Hour next week. I'll supply the Guinness. Oh man, me drunk on a YouTube video would be not good. That's not something I'm gonna be doing ever, or any video. Just no. I'm one of those silly people, so it would just be a whole lot of nonsense. But I'd be smiling a whole lot. That would probably be about the end of it. It's not something I do very frequently. I'm more of like a social drinker. I'll consume a beer or two with dinner or something, or meeting up with friends, you know, kick back a cold one or something. I like the taste, so. Alessio Baldi, a live stream while drunk would be fun though. No. I think that would just maybe fun for you, but it would just be scary for me. So we're gonna go vote no. Never. No. Kerbin Justic, do it. No. Sorry. I will drink this water. How about that? Yeah. Besides, alcohol dehydrates you. Dmitry Volkov, bad times with communications and liquor. Yeah, agreed. Besides, I have fun with the conversation that we do have, and I like talking guns and gear with you guys. I don't want to have to change it up too much.
And movies.
And movies. And food. Man, that was really The one time we talked about food while I was hungry, I was like dying of starvation by the end of the conversation. But anyway, thanks to you guys for joining the conversation. I've had a blast. I hope you had fun too. I will be having another video, another live stream, of course, next week at new.livestream.com/FateofDestinee. And if you don't make it for the hour and a half that we have our conversation, I will take the video of the live chat and upload it to YouTube, youtube.com/FateofDestinee afterward. Oh, and last week's vid should go live tonight, so keep your eye out. That'll be up soon. But bye. Thanks, guys. See you next week.